To no avail, I have tried to find the answers to these following questions. What is credit? Do we even need credit? What is open-ended credit and closed-end credit? What's the difference? How do I build credit? How do I protect my credit from credit thieves? I don't know. So to find the answer, I will consult my colleague and ask the adults.
It's basically a way to buy things when you don't have the money for it, assuming you're going to pay for it later on.
Credit is a score.
I get something. I necessarily haven't given anything for it, but the expectation is that I return the favor.
Okay, so credit is basically the ability of the consumer to buy and purchase goods and services before actually making the payment.
Well, my opinion on credit is definitely stay away from it.
I think it's helpful. Having a credit history for if you went to buy a house is important, or to do major purchases. So to have a credit history, it's necessary.
It can be the thing that keeps you from becoming a millionaire.
It's crucial. You cannot go through life without knowing how the credit world works, because everything that people do, adults do, you have to use credit. There's pretty much no way to live in this world or this country without having credit.
Being able to buy a house, or knowing if you're eligible to buy houses or the car or whatever you want to desire.
If I have credit, that means I can purchase or I can get something.
The advantage is that they will trust you more, and so you can get more loans and you can start a business or you can buy a house.
You've got to be disciplined with it. It's good to have in case of emergencies. There's certain purchases online that you would need it for.
Credit cards and credit companies also tend to influence their consumers with benefits in the credit or credit card. Some credit cards will give you discounts at certain stores or restaurants, or give you discounts for doing certain kinds of business with other businesses.
I think a disadvantage is I think it's a hard time taking out a loan if you have a bad credit score.
And then also like my school loan debt, and I'm 43 years old and still paying on my school loans.
I'd say the temptation is just, it's a piece of plastic. It's not tangible like cash in your hands where you can see it going away as you spend it. Credit card, you can easily swipe it and you don't really know the consequences of it until the end of the month when you get that statement in the bill.
Disadvantages: if you have sluggish credit score, you're screwed. If you got good credit score, you're good. But it can also affect, like, say if someone gets their identity stolen or something like that, they could probably get a bad credit score out of that person, and it wouldn't be their fault.
Okay, so that's a great question. So if I was to think about that a second.
Ooh, that's a great question. Open-ended and closed-ended. I don't think I do.
Closed credit means that and I assume this is what it means, but at a certain point you can only get a certain amount of credit, and then open credit means you get as much as you need. I assume that's what that means.
I have no idea what the difference between closed credit and open-ended credit is.
Closed credit is the type of credit that needs to be paid in full by a specific date. This includes all the interest and the principal amount. An example of closed credit would be your car loan or your student loan. Open-ended credit is the type of credit that you pay back monthly, as long as you have credit and an outstanding balance that needs to be paid off. An example of open-ended credit would be your credit cards.
A credit score? I'm gonna say, to be honest, I know like what it is in my mind. I don't know how to word it. A credit score is like
is a thing that you form by asking for loans and you will be paying back in time, so you will be up credit to be able to buy a house, to obtain a bigger loan of a certain bank or certain things that you want to buy.
A credit is a number or something that everybody has from the day you're born to the day you die.
Okay, you're gonna ask me about credit scores, right?
A credit score is a 3-digit score. A score that is in between 300 and 800. Your highest number going to 800 being your best score. If you have a 300, I'm pretty sure you know that's not a good score.
A good plan that I think would be maybe like take out a loan for $1,000, put it in your savings account and use that money to pay that loan. And in the end, you'll be paying like $100 more, but you'll get your credit score up, you know? And then you'll have like good credit score for the price of like $100.
You know, I guess the way that that was established would be by paying bills on time. So as a young person, I think when the first things that you have are most likely car notes, if you have owned a car, or you might just have utilities. So paying those on time is how you establish the credit history.
Just finding ways to gain small lines of credit first, proving that you are a worthy credit recipient by paying on time and in full, then your score will just keep going up and up and up.
I would start out with a credit card with a low balance, make a few purchases here a month, here and there, something that you can easily pay off on a monthly basis. So if you just restrict yourself, like say buying gas for your car, and that's the only thing you use your credit card for, you need gasoline to get from point A to point B. Well, that should be in your budget already, and at the end of the month, I pay that check. Well, my credit card is showing that I pay my balance off on a monthly basis, and that will boost my credit card's score.
No. The 5 C's to credit? No. I don't even know if I could guess on it.
I wonder if it has anything to do with diamonds. You know, there's the 5 C's of diamonds.
So maybe cash? How much cash they have?
No idea.
I'm gonna guess. And these might not be conventional. That starts with a C.
Color, cut, clarity, and carat, right?
Okay, we'll take that.
Can we work with diamonds?
I don't think creativity counts here when it comes to credit. Your 5 C's. I'm failing. Okay, but they probably look in your history, so they look into your history. Do you have an outstanding car payment? Do you have, what's your other credit lines? How many credit cards do you have and all that? Fail. Fail.
So the 5 C's of your credit score is capacity, character, capital, collateral, and conditions. Capital is when the borrower's ability to repay a loan by comparing income against recurring debts. Character is the borrower's reputation. And then capital is the amount of wealth. Collateral is the properties or assets that you have to help secure a loan. And conditions is your interest rate and amount of principal.
Well, if you have credit fraud, what is credit fraud?
I see a lot of like advertisements on TV, so there's a lot of like apps and stuff you can get. I think I would just download those and do that instead.
I would not give my information, first of all, like online a lot, like unless it was something reliable. So like because buying something from like a big corporation like Best Buy, if I bought something off that, versus buying something off of like a sketchy website that I've never heard of.
Don't carry around your, what's it called, a code? Your, whatever that thing is, your social security number.
I have a wife, and she is, I call her my Tasmanian devil. So if anything goes wrong, I sick my Tasmanian devil on them. That's how I protect myself.
Some ways you can avoid identity fraud is make sure that if you lose your wallet, you cancel all your credit cards right away. Never give your information out online. And another thing is to keep your social security and any personal information secure and safe and private. Another thing that you can do is if you have any reports or anything of false charges, make sure that you report them immediately. If you do happen to come with an instance where your stuff is stolen, then recovery might take a while. It depends on what happened. It depends on who took it, how long it took you to learn that your stuff was stolen, when it occurred, and if the person was caught or not, and if the thief is using your stuff or if they sold it to someone else to use it.